yo, welcome to another. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, dude. Okay. Hey, yo, welcome to another. Oh, my grit. Come on. I got this. I can do this. I can do this.
One day.
I got it. I got it on the last video. Okay. Hey, yo, welcome to another amazing episode of That Was Three. No paper today. Three takes. Yeah, 3 takes. And you won't see the other 2 takes. They were really bad. I forgot how to speak English, so yeah. This is Rick Smith, the host of That Was Three, along with Jose, who is along with these co-hosts here as well. We're on episode 7.
Yes,
I do believe traction. Yeah, a little bit of traction. What's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. Just living. Watching wrestling when I can. As always, a lot's going on all over the place. So it's good to know that we actually have something to talk about like every week.
Dude, even AEW's not doing the content. They're doing so much outside of the ring. I mean, and I like Jon Moxley said something a couple weeks ago that really resonated with me. He says, "Forbidden Door. I am the Forbidden Door." And my goodness, Jon Moxley is popping up everywhere, man. It is scary where he's popping up at. Like why are you over here? And the fact that he's giving back to all these tiny, minute promotions. I mean, he's putting them on the map. I love it, man.
Dude, him, Matt Hardy, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson.
And your boy. You see the picture of your boy with Danhausen.
Yeah, dude. Suzuki would, come on. Right now, again, you always hear it from us. You hear it all over the internet. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan because you can pretty much look just about anywhere and you'll see wrestling in some way, shape, or form. I mean, think about it. Isn't it at the end of the year we're getting the AEW game? Or next year?
It has to be in the next year. Ain't no way, man. Oh, but there's skins out there. You guys look. They if you watch Rampage this week, Dynamite, they did the ceremony for Brody Lee. Preston Vance, 10, he had a slave mask like Deathstroke.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool, and they actually incorporated that into the new game. There's a skin out there where they gave him that mask, and I'm like, way to pay attention to detail, man. That is awesome. I love it, man.
Telling you, you're waiting for that Owen Hart DLC.
And the Impact DLC. And the New Japan Wrestling DLC. It goes on and on and on.
There's going to be one season pass called the Forbidden Door.
But, hey, before we get started, man, I want to make sure that on That Was Three that we actually get opportunity to talk about Hispanic Heritage Month. And, of course, you are Hispanic. If people don't know, Jose is Hispanic. So, newsflash, spoilers. So, I mean, you want to give some nuggets, talk about, Hispanic wrestlers, talk about the culture inside of wrestling, something quick before we move on to all the happenings in the great world of wrestling?
Yeah, I mean, not going to go too long with it. Just, growing up, especially nowadays, people there's always that desire to want to see representation for your culture and whatnot. And in recent years, we've seen that a lot of movies in Hollywood. And I know a couple people, a couple of them too, where they're all like, well, when are Hispanics gonna get representation, this and the other? And not knocking on anything, but it was just like me growing up. I always felt like, well, lucha libre is representation for my culture and a lot of other Hispanic cultures in a big way, because there's storytelling, there's heroes, there's villains, You know, people deal with the real life aspects that they bring out and put on display for people to see. If you don't know what I mean by that, look up when Eddie Guerrero does that amazing promo where he literally puts every single bit of his dirty laundry out there and is staring down Brock Lesnar the entire time. And even Brock Lesnar looks like, wow, I could never have done this. You know, like it's always been there ever since I was little. Even though, you know, now my age, it's still here, as you can tell, or else I wouldn't be on this podcast. And it's definitely been something that, you know, I've always loved and I've always appreciated, that we have that level of representation. You know, and man, think about it. Look at how much stuff like wrestling as a whole has inspired.
Yeah.
And is now like kind of bleeding into, and to know that Lucha Libre had actually done a lot of that a little bit before.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like Lucha Libre, there were a lot of older wrestlers that actually were in TV and movies and whatnot, you know, way before you would see people like The Rock or John Cena or anybody like that. You know, and again, not knocking anybody, but, you know, it's just cool to have always had that in my life. And yeah, I mean, I love it.
Respect, man. And that kind of can go right into our topics, man. AEW's, I mean, what a great way to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month with what's going on with the Hispanic wrestlers in AEW. I guess I'm going to throw it on top, man. Congratulations, Sammy.
Yeah, big time. That,
wow.
I mean, that it was so funny too, because remember, you and I were dead set that Kingston was gonna get the belt, and I've been meaning to this. I'm waiting for you to do that. That you and I were like dead set that Kingston was gonna get that belt in New York. We were dead set, like, yo, this is what's gonna happen. It makes sense. But no, they didn't do that. You know, instead they he and Moxley had a tag match.
Yeah, it was Suzuki and Archer.
Yeah, you know, and the lights out match. And I mean, that match, I enjoyed that match too. I thought that was great. All four guys, you really just got to see them say, okay, let's go. But yeah, so to see our prediction not happen, but then to see that it didn't happen because they gave Kingston another feud that has actually been carrying on, and it's not even carrying on in AEW. It's about to go to New Japan.
Everywhere. You know,
like literally, and all four guys are killing it in that feud. And then so, you know, they do that for him. And then they basically say, all right, we're going to put Sammy, we're going to give him belt. And what made it even better was the fact that I believe this is the same night where MJF gave that promo, the 4 pillars of AEW.
Oh, man, that's perfect.
Yeah, like that was perfect. I mean, that's one of the reasons why, like, even, you know, kind of hopping on MJF for a second, why as much of a heel and as much of an ass as he is an amazing heel, because he basically, he's not always spitting falsehoods. Like, you know, he outright said it. You know, him, Darby, Sammy, and Jungle Boy.
That's it.
And you know, that, like, those are the 4 pillars. Those are the 4 that are going to be carrying the company long after all the older guys retire. And I mean, he's not wrong. He is like 100% not wrong. The feuds that are going to come in the years for all 4 of them are going to be pretty damn great. So going back to Sammy, to hear that promo and then to get to that match, main event, and it felt like a main event. It felt like they were treating it like, hey, this is a match you would see on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Miro, for a good portion of that match, was just absolutely beating the hell out of him.
Yeah, I love
because they still kept him as that monster. the one that comes in Rex House. I dug it. There were a couple spots during the match where it kind of went off a little, where you're like, they're setting up their stuff a little too obviously, But I mean, everything else they did though was great. Sammy going over the turnbuckle, dude. That every time, like what is it? Simon from What Culture always says how Darby Allin is like the best when it comes to jumping off, off the turnbuckle and being the craziest one. But then he's like, but then you see Sammy do that, and you have to rethink it, because that was amazing.
Dude, this thing with Sammy, like, we see Darby do this shit every week. Sammy doesn't get matches every week. Sammy may wrestle once a month at best.
Yeah.
And just when he does it, it's like, it's so big. Like, it's so wild when he does it, man. It just, I mean, the scene goes so high. And I'm fearing for my life when he gets airborne, dude. I'm like, takes that one time, man. And it's like, Sammy hasn't got to that point yet. As when he jumped off, did that somersault and hit MJF, he did hit his head on the concrete. I'm like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah.
It ain't like you already had a great match. Don't fuck it up.
don't overdo it. We need your career to last like another 30 years, man. Come on.
Yeah,
man. But you're right though. Like the fact that, and this is nothing against Darby. I like Darby. I think he's like this one article I saw online. He's like this generation's Sting.
Oh yeah.
And it makes total sense. Obviously, we all see the parallels. And so he's great at that. He is 100% great at that. I love that little snipe that he threw at MJF, talking about how, like, if you're the best, how come I'm the only one that's had the held a belt?
Yeah.
That was solid. And
he was like, he said, I can't burst your bubble. I was just like, I don't think MJF had anything else to say. I think he was legitimately stunned by what Darby said.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally looked baffled. Like, that promo for MJF, it felt really legit and genuine to me. Because, talking about MLW, then he called out Darby, and then people were like, yo, you versus Punk. And the whole crowd wanted him to go after Punk, and he was like, I don't give a damn about, like, whatever. I ain't worried about this.
Yeah, no, I like that too. I like the fact that he was like, nah.
He like this thing I hate about MJF right now. They're outside of Punk, and I hate to say this. There's nobody for him to fight right now. There's nobody.
Yeah, no, nobody that it would make sense, because everybody else is they're already in a storyline, so it wouldn't make sense to pull him over or pull them into, it's like, no, just let these paths run. They're doing good. AEW does pretty decent job when it comes to long-term storytelling.
Yeah.
And so like I was saying though, like the thing with Darby is, you're right 100%. Pretty much every week we see him coffin drop. We see him, throw himself, through the ropes, basically use somebody as a weapon every chance he gets. So when Sammy gets in the ring, his matches feel like there's more weight to them.
Yeah.
And you definitely felt it with this one. Like that vignette that they showed, where he, before the match, where he's talking about how hard he fought and how he's been there since day one. I was like, dude, this really does feel like a pay-per-view match. Like, that, and then speaking, so great call. I'm glad he's got the belt.
I like the fact that, me personally, that they're finally letting the young guys take over.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, even with the luchas, it's just like, it's like, Young Bucks, here you go. It's y'all time now to go run with this and be the best. Sammy, you've done enough. You faced adversity. You got in trouble. You worked on your craft. It's your time now to be the guy. And I mean, Sammy, he backed it up after the last pay-per-view. He said, look, I'm never going to be excluded from another pay-per-view ever again. and I plan to go get gold.
Oh yeah, no.
Love it, man.
I mean, think about it. Like we watched All Out, and I do remember that was one of the things we had said amongst the group of us that were watching online was like, where's Sammy? Like he usually in a pay-per-view, like what's going on?
Look at it. Jungle Boy was only in the buy-in.
Exactly.
And I mean that's sad. I mean, I understand why you had to push the other wrestlers, but a lot of the young talent did not get any exposure in the pay-per-view. Like it wasn't there. Like
realistically though, we all knew that was going to happen because we all knew. Oh, CM Punk's first match. What's the name? Danielson. Oh, he might be there.
Yeah.
Ruby Soho coming out. There was already so much.
Yeah.
Surprises that it was kind of like, hey guys, we're gonna give the light to them because that's what everybody's expecting.
Yeah.
But we're gonna start, but it looks like now it's like, okay, we did that for them. Now we're coming back to you guys. Now you're gonna start getting the payoff because on top of like going back to that 4 pillars thing, Jungle Boy and Adam Cole's match. That 100% was a pay-per-view level match.
Yeah.
Nonstop. And like you would think that those two have been wrestling with each other for years. Yeah. That was just fluid going through.
I mean, it was a pretty clean match until the end, but it was pretty clean though.
Yeah.
But I was pretty impressed they let them actually fight.
But you know what though? I'm actually perfectly okay with how Cole won that match because it makes sense. Because it's that whole narrative of like, oh, look, see, I told you guys I could beat him. It's like, yeah, but you had to cheat.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, I said I could beat him. It's like, yeah, but,
Yeah, I mean, he's the elite now. He's,
exactly. But realistically, there's no way that feud is done. We know that feud's not done. I mean, I'm even really liking the whole thing of Christian, Jurassic Express, and Kazarian having like beef with the elite. I like that because again, they're all having something to do. It all makes sense. Everybody kind of getting their moments.
I'm gonna touch on something earlier you said about CM Punk. And I saw this in what?
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Oh no, this has to do with Will Hobbs. I'm not talking about CM Punk's horrible announcement stuff. Being an announcer, I'm not talking about that. Will Hobbs, I guess he's basically this bad guy, quote unquote. He's with FTW. They're labeled as bad guys. I don't know what to push. I don't know what they're trying to do FTW, whatever. But Will Hobbs went on Twitter and thanked Tony Khan and CM Punk. And he said, Tony Khan, thank you so much for believing in me, in this young guy who's starting off in the wrestling career, to go out here and face a legend that is CM Punk. And CM Punk, thank you for giving me one of the best matches of my life. And I'm like, I'm not gonna cry on the reading Twitter, but seeing, we all saw Will Hobbs like become that guy. Like we watched him from nothing until now, and see his career. And he fought Punk. Like he could say that for the rest of his life, no matter what happened in his career. He fought CM Punk. Like, yeah. I mean,
no, yeah, exactly.
I love it, man. And to hear Will Hobbs actually say that in great character, nothing but respect.
Oh, no, definitely. I mean, even that match, that match
was pretty good until he took that nasty bump on his head, but it was a really good match.
Yeah, the whole match was pretty good. And you're right, again, CM Punk just, he, like he said, he wanted to come in there and he wanted to help elevate people. And regardless of how the internet feels, he's doing that, and he's doing a really good job at it, So just have to see what goes from there. What else is on the agenda?
The women's division. Can I ask you a general question? And I want you to be totally honest with me. and I need you to give me the exact answer, and I need to stamp it right now.
Okay.
Well, I actually think it gets announced next week on the anniversary. But when do they announce the women's tag team belts? Like, we talk about this every single week. Dude, the fact that they're matching their outfits now, I saw the bunny and I saw
Both, the fact that both teams, and people notice that, where it's like, wait a minute, okay.
And I love Penelope with the bunny.
That's so good.
Fan, but I love the tag. Like, they're good together. Like, they match each other so well. I love it.
Yeah. No, I agree. So to answer your question,
okay.
Yeah, like if you announce it this week, because this week's the anniversary. That would be the best time. That would be like, unless they're gonna do something like uber big and grand, then okay, maybe you can do it another time. But it would be great to do that. And speaking of announcements, it would also be great if they also announced that Owen Cup.
Ooh.
If they did both of those, I'm good to go. Let's go. Because one of the things AEW's been good at, and this is something you and I really, really enjoy about it, their tournaments.
Yeah.
They are really good at making you making you care about it. Unfortunately, the one that they did with the women on Dark didn't really go anywhere. So that was like the bad thing about it. Like, but everything leading up to that was great. The one that they did where they had, the matches in Japan,
and
the matches here, the women's tournament, that was just solid all the way through.
So let me ask you a question. When it comes, so I know we're talking about the tournament for Owen Hart. Let's see if AEW does. You think they make an Owen Hart belt? Dude, that's a lot. But man,
I don't know. I don't.
I mean, they'll probably do the medallion thing again, but they actually have like an Owen Hart belt or a Hart belt, like.
Yeah, I mean, that.
I was throwing. I mean, like that's like
if they did it, I would want it to be a belt in presentation only. It's not an actual belt that people can fight for.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
It needs to be like, this is a belt, every year we do this. This is what you get, and then you take it home and you display it. But don't make it a belt that people can actually fight for. Not because I don't think it'd be deserving, but because of the fact of like Owen Hart's legacy. I feel like, you can only get that belt once a year. And you have to go through a tournament to get it. That just adds so much to it. That's how I view it. Like, if it's just like that one, like, this is what you get when you win the tournament, kind of like MJF with that dumb ring he has.
Yeah.
So we all know the only reason he won twice, they didn't want to have to get another ring.
I want to tell you. So, as you're aware, Tony Khan announced the ladder match for Dynamite for the anniversary.
Oh.
We got all the contestants -1. Who do you think the Joker's going to be?
Oh, -1, 100%. No, man.
I keep hearing Paige, but I don't want them to do Paige.
I think that's who it's going to be.
I think it's going to be. He wins, and then you start the rivalry back up. Full Gear, they fight. Kenny, it's an easy sell. I mean, Kenny's fought everybody down.
Yeah, I think that's who it's going to be. I've heard a couple rumors that it's going to be Bray Wyatt. I've heard that it's a couple names from like oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Like Impact
too, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, like Impact and a couple of other places. I did hear one that kind of piqued my interest. Crap, I'm drawing a blank on his name. He in New Japan, he recently basically called out Kenny, saying that he wants the AEW belt. And oh my god, I'm drawing a blank on him. Sorry, guys, been a long day.
It's all good. I can't tell you that.
But yeah, so you know that I've been hearing names from all over. I don't know though, that match is already stacked.
Dude, I mean, like, thanks for adding Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy, which you didn't need for that match at all. That just added incentive.
We gotta talk about that in a moment. That just adds fuel to your booking, your fantasy booking.
Which is
but speaking of, you know, people out of AEW showing up, we gotta kind of hop back to Sammy.
Yeah.
Bobby Fish.
Dude, immediately as soon as he won that match, Bobby Fish was the first person on Twitter.
Yep.
They had that joint scheduled to come out.
Oh yeah, no. You know for a fact they were like, yo, 10 seconds after. I'm looking forward to that match. That looks like that's gonna be a good one. And I love the fact how it's just out of nowhere.
Yeah, it just screw it. Bobby Fish, Forbidden Door, whatever.
Yeah.
Come on in here.
So you know, that kind of makes me wonder, like, okay, is he the only one that's gonna do that?
I mean, I would love that the TNT belt. I didn't talk about this before we started this show. TNT belt should be primarily just for people, maybe just new folks. Like, I don't think it should. I wouldn't even have them even fight wrestlers at AEW. Just be wrestlers from other promotions are allowed to come in and, like, you know, challenge for the TNT belt. But the reality of it is, it's only for out. Just make it just an open door.
Yeah, like a Forbidden Door belt.
Yeah, I didn't want to go there because I don't take that away from Moxley, who is the Forbidden Door. But literally, you kick that shit wide open.
I know, right? I mean,
dude,
no. That would be great. So that's exciting though. That is like a really cool thing. Run with it. I know you have said in the past you're not a big fan of the fact that Kenny has the belt but doesn't defend it, except for, like, you know, once a pay-per-view. But I've always been okay with that because the TNT belt gets defended as much as it does. So
Miro screwed that up big time. Miro did not defend his belt at all. Like, I could have named probably about 3 to 4 matches he had for the belt, if that.
Well, he defended it against people that it was very clear he was going to
win. I mean, you're not losing Lee Johnson. You're not losing to Fuego.
Yeah.
Even though I think Fuego, that second match, like, you put him back out there again to lose. Come on, man. That was. I kind of feel that made probably when they took the power away from the EVPs, man. That was a bad call.
Yeah. I kind of also think that was if you watch Sammy's vlog, they've been kind of doing something with Fuego and Matt Hardy. I'm wondering if that's going to actually pay off, because that would be really cool, and that would kind of tug at the heartstrings for a lot of people. For those of you that don't know, on Sammy Guevara's blog, there's always this random segment where you see Fuego ends up running into Matt Hardy, and Matt's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, you know, he's not being a jerk or anything to him, just like actually really trying to give him like encouragement and support. But now he starts pointing out how, like, well, Sammy wasn't really trying to help you. He just wanted the belt.
Yeah.
You know? And he's like, but, you know, we over at the HFO, we're not like that. We're family. We love each other. We respect each other. And now they're starting to show Fuego kind of playing it off like, like maybe there's, maybe he's not lying.
At some point, Fuego has to fight for his dignity. The fact that his friend won the belt for himself. And on his honor, like, I couldn't live with that. I think the biggest diss would be if Sam was like, "Here you go, Fuego. Here you go, Parker, you're a family. I'm the new champ." I think at that point, I think you do that, and then Fago gets pissed and be like, "Dude, I don't need you to be my daddy. I need I want that belt." And now Fago's like, "Oh, my friend got it. I'm not gonna fight." Nah, hell no. That should be your number one. Look, that's my belt. Period.
Yeah.
I'm challenging you each and every night.
Don't matter where we're at. We're gonna fight on the blog. We're gonna fight on the blog.
And just have that, I'm sorry, I love you moment, and just kick the shit out of them.
you and that I'm sorry, I love you moment. You always want to see that.
They do something. They do the AEW. They try to be slick with it, but I see it sometimes. So where are we? Okay, we can talk about Kenny. Yeah, like we talked about earlier. At this point, it has to be Hangman. You're not gonna have Kenny versus Omega. Man, I'm sorry. You're not gonna have Kenny versus.
It's just him fighting in front of a mirror.
Yeah, I mean that would be a good match at this point. Kenny's beating everybody, but you owe us Kenny versus Hangman before the end of the year. Like you owe this to us. There's no getting out of this. Thank you for bringing the shiny new wrestlers in, but it is Hangman's time to get this belt, man. Like it is so long overdue. Like it's so annoying that I'm still waiting for Hangman to get this belt. Like he has earned every right to have this belt.
See, he has earned it, but the only problem is you give Hangman the belt, you don't have a heel that makes sense to come after Hangman and give Hangman as much shit as he's gonna give him. Because you can't do MJF. That doesn't make.
Well, Andrade's really not a heel, but I would like to see Andrade and Hangman have a little tussle.
Okay, that I agree with that. Oh, speaking of Andrade, that little tease about having some friends that the Lucha Brothers can face. Oh God.
Man, you just having moments, huh?
Yes, it was like, wow, are they really gonna do this? Are they really? Is he really bringing in his, his people? Because that's gonna be crazy, and totally worth it. So,
and Tony Khan said he has so many more surprises. Yeah, well, he said he has one more big surprise for the year. So, I mean, I'm interested to see what it is. But Tony Khan still signing dudes left and right. He got Leo Rush out of retirement for like the 20th time. But like, Tony Khan has been like up Leo Rush's ass for weeks trying to get him to sign. As soon as he got cleared, he was like, "Look, Leo, look, bruh, I love your style, man.
You got to come back. We'll take care of you. We'll make sure you're good."
Yeah, we'll make sure the insurance policy is high as hell.
No, trust me, we already got a couple on the roster that, like, good God, we have to pay a lot for. But we got you.
I don't know where you even insert Leo at right now. I'm like, where do you insert him at? Like, I mean,
you could make him the Joker.
And that's what, do you want to do that again? Because I would feel weird because that's what he got himself hurt last time. Coming as a Joker, and I don't know, like I would feel.
Oh wait, no, that's right. He was already. Never mind. Sorry, I forgot. I forgot that he was the Joker in that one.
Yeah, so. That's when he got injured, and that's when he was like, "I'm done with wrestling."
I mean, realistically, if he's gonna come back as a heel, feud with Sammy for that belt.
Yeah, I have no issue.
Just feud with Sammy for the TNT belt. That would move. That'll be worth watching. And then don't forget, supposedly we're getting a TBS belt. We're getting the women's tag belts.
So I wonder if Rampage will still be on TNT. So I guess the TNT belt will be depending on Rampage. So that's cool. You ain't got to do no retirement ceremony for the belt.
Yeah, exactly. You can just have that. Kind of like what we said for a while about Dark, like give Dark a belt. Well, instead of giving Dark a belt, the TNT belt is essentially, that belt.
TBS tag team belts.
Women's division. Yeah.
Women's TBS tag team belt. Oh my good, I do. Stamp it. That's how you did take Ty Conti and Anna Jay come into TBS as like the top. You know, Britt already has Rampage. That's her thing. But you got TJ at the top of the game coming into TBS, and they defend the belt on Dynamite on TBS like every week. That would just, they go goosebumps, man. TBS.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
Slap TBS on the middle of it, tag team. All you gotta do, man. You listen, and then of course, you know, we talk about the sport. Super Click, the trio belts. I mean, if they're not being printed right now, that's sad. Super Click, come on. Super Click.
Only thing though that I have against that is the fact that Death Triangle should have had those belts way back.
Death Triangle's a thing of the past, man.
You know, but you know, the pandemic that put a whole stop to a lot of that. We've said it in the past. Pretty sure that if the pandemic didn't happen, Trios belts probably would already be a thing right now. And yeah, Death Triangle probably would have been the first group to have those belts.
Oh yeah,
because you saw it that they were definitely they were definitely hyping them for something.
Yeah.
But then you know everything happened, and we had maybe down the line they can come back. I mean, like even right now, dude, this whole thing that they're still doing between Pac and Andrade, where like the whole thing of hey, where's he at? And the Lucha Brothers are like, we don't know. And it's like, okay, you guys you're still doing something with this. This is interesting. Just don't let it go too long.
Andrade brings his guys in, and he sends them off. He sends his dogs off to beat the shit out the Lucha Brothers because they didn't join him, and they just fuck with them every single week. Fuck up all their matches. I would hate to say, I would love for his new group to cost them the belts.
Yeah.
Oh man, you talking about it? Oh, it's
costing the belts. The feud that would.
Yeah. Because I mean, I honestly, I just love there's other tag teams that I think out there. Like I honestly hope that I hate to say this, I hope FTR gets the belt back at some point. I think they were a staple tag team, and I think they can run with it. And they had the charisma. There's nothing for FTR to do.
I like that little promo that they cut where they basically said, you know, yeah, we're gonna show you guys why we're the best tag team again, and so it's kind of along the lines of what you're saying right now, where it's like, yeah, make them strong again like they once were.
Yeah.
I don't know. In some ways, it kind of feels like being a part of the Pinnacle kind of hurt them.
The Pinnacle thing. I mean, they honestly scrapped the whole Pinnacle shit. Like, it was a good run. I see what they're trying to do, but nobody cares about it no more.
Yeah. You're
not wrong. Dumb. It served its purpose. They were trying to get a couple weeks out of TV, out of some feuds. I don't know. Oh, but I don't know if you heard, but Jericho talked about who his original members were for the Inner Circle when he started AEW.
I saw an article, but I didn't get to read it.
So, he didn't go into too much detail, but he said he wanted the Lucha Brothers at first.
Okay.
And then he thought about it. He said, you know, I want them to be by themselves and do their own thing. But Lucha Brothers were actually in talks with him on being part of the Inner Circle. And he was like, no. And then he didn't know who Santana Ortiz was at the time either. And he was like, he guys seemed pretty cool. And then, you know, of course, he found Sammy in the indie. And then he was a big fan of Hager in WWE. And he felt that WWE was like, look, you got this tall ass dude, this pretty guy, and you can't do nothing with him. This is a damn shame. And he was like, you know what? I want him to be on AEW, and I want him to be a part of this faction. And Tony Khan was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I want Hager to be part of AEW, and I want him part of my faction. And he said the greatest thing about this, when he took a picture, he was like, it was like a Guns N' Roses picture. He's like, there's a bunch of guys together, and you would never thought they would be together. And he was just so happy that it all came together. And he said, we have never fought not one day as a group. Much respect, man.
Yeah. I can't remember if it was him that was in the interview I saw or one of the other members where they talked about how like the Inner Circle they're still a group, but they don't always have to be around each other
Yeah.
and doing everything with each other. And I really like that. I like the fact that they do that. Like, to be honest, that's kind of like what the Pinnacle is doing now too, where they're like a group in name, but not actually doing stuff together anymore. And I like that. I like that route.
I like it too.
I think that's actually like a really, like, when a promotion, it doesn't have to just be AEW, it can be any promotion. When they find a way to make a group like that kind of go their own ways, but not do this whole, oh, they turned on each other and they're all disbanded now.
Yeah.
It's cool because it's like, yo, yeah, they're especially like when the Inner Circle talking about how like they're like a brotherhood and they're this that, and the other.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, you guys aren't all gonna want to do the same thing. You guys are gonna go after the tag belts.
Yeah.
Hager, you're gonna hopefully one day get to finish your feud with Wardlow. Which, by the way, Wardlow, they need to get him away from MJF now. It's time.
But that's the feud they should be going for at this point. Because you saw last time he turned his back on him, was like, whoop his ass. And I really feel that the Wardlow versus MJF thing is long overdue. Like, because right now you're just pitting MJF against anybody just because, just to see if it stick. I mean, the freaking Brian Pillman thing was great, but it lasted 2 episodes a week.
Yeah.
Didn't really get anywhere. It was there in Cincinnati. They played it. It worked. I mean, it's a shame that it didn't go further. But, like, man, Wardlow's right there. You could build that for Full Gear. Like, who's MJF going to fight at Full Gear? I don't want to see him. I won't watch him fight Darby.
He's not going to fight at Full Gear. No.
I mean, like, and it's just like, you got to have somebody for MJF to feud with. If it's not Punk, you don't have anybody else. Like, there's nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he's, and I don't want to see him fight Kenny, which is dumb. Like, it's.
Yeah, no, I would much rather see MJF take the belt off of somebody like Darby or Jungle Boy, or even Sammy.
I love MJF and Sammy's feud. They don't announce it like every week that they got to issue each other, but when they go out in the world, they hate each other. And they like
Sammy, action figure ever.
Dude, they hate each other. You know what I would like though if they went with this, because I would be cool with this. I wish either it'd be 2 heels in a sense, but I would love MJF and Max Caster to bring their feud, their social media feud, to the ring, because they argue all day. Like, Max Caster's like, yo, you owe me a kiss, you owe me a hug. He's like, get away from me, you idiot, you fool, you nasty person. And it's like, whatever, they argue all day. And Max Caster pisses MJF off all day on Twitter. And I love it. And I would love to see them, see him rapping to MJF get pissed. Like, oh, man, what are you doing? Why is this rap crap? What are you doing, man? We don't do that. Yeah, I mean, 2 heels. I mean, I don't think 2 heels would be bad. I mean, Max Caster versus MJF would be. Max Caster's a really good wrestler too. So,
dude, like, even though he's the heel, Caster, he gets the crowd behind him a lot of times. So it's possible.
Caster's going to be on that level. I think he's going to be close to that pillar. Another year or 2, he is going to be close to that pillar, because, I mean, he's built to wrestle. Like, he is a wrestler that, how you say, it's like Vince McMahon would sign.
Yeah,
like,
I've read that.
He is the perfect build for a wrestler. Like, yeah, I love it, man. I just want him, and I mean, I doubt they win any gold anytime soon. But I mean, I love the Acclaim, love the fact that they're back, love the fact that Tony Khan, like, they laughed the whole thing off now.
yeah, it's kind of like, okay, dude, look, it was wrong.
Yeah,
you apologize.
No hard feelings.
No hard feelings. Just don't do it again.
Yeah.
And because like when they came out for their match, and they did the whole thing of like, hold on, it's scripted now, so take out the piece of paper, and they read it, and it's like the worst lines you've ever heard, and then they just like tear it up, and then they just went for it. I was like, okay, clearly, people have talked, and they're running with it. And again, just kind of the cool thing about AEW is the fact that any type of aside from like serious ones, any type of screw up like that, they can usually flip it and make it.
I love how they adapt. Like with Tony Khan was like, I'm just here to say that if you keep messing with me, I'll give you another 30 days. And I was like, Tony, there you go, Tony. drop it on him.
Since we've brought up his name a few times, what about the revelation that the EVPs don't really have any more power anymore?
So this will be the end of our little segment.
I honestly, look, it was bound to happen, and you can clearly see the product has gotten significantly better and more cohesive.
My goodness, dude.
Things make sense.
There was a lot of bad bookings, man. I mean, look, I love AEW, but come on, like some of these matches, I was like, on Dynamite, like, don't get me wrong, Dark has some great matches. I'm like, you put this on Dynamite, like, this shouldn't, like, no.
There have been plenty of times where there were matches on Dark where you're like, why couldn't this be on Dynamite? And then you see a match on Dynamite and you're like, that could have been on Dark.
And props to Paul White. He does a lot of the bookings on Elevation, and he really put together some great bookings. And I'm like,
he's doing a really good job there.
I couldn't believe the people that were fighting on Dynamite every week. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, hey, great match.
Yeah. I mean, look, it was bound to happen.
I obviously wrestling, man. He's out. You still get paid right? The dollars.
It was bound to happen, and obviously the internet ran with it, and this is bad signs. No, dude, this is what it was needed to be done, and you can see by the quality of the programming. It has, I mean, what? How many weeks have they beat WWE in ratings? 2 or
Demo
3?
It's been 6 weeks on Demo.
Yeah,
6 weeks on Demo, and it's been 6 weeks of the #1 show on the cable television.
So you see, clearly, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say that they were absolutely horrible, because we did get some good stuff out of them.
It was some good ones,
but it's very clear. Yeah, the person that's now in control, he knows what he's doing. Hopefully he doesn't screw anything up, but he knows what he's doing. I do agree with something Eric Bischoff said, just to kind of add to this, because it does kind of go with it. Yeah. Eric Bischoff said in an interview recently that Tony needs to start cooling off on the surprise reveals. Because and I do agree. I really do agree.
Tony's just really excited, man.
Yeah, it's like I get you're excited, and that's why people love AEW. But dude, do not become a Marvel movie where all we're doing is waiting for the end credits.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. All Out was fantastic, man. Don't get me wrong. I love All Out, but it's probably one of the great pay-per-views of our lifetime. But did you need to put all your cards in the deck and reveal like all 3 of them? Like, you could have planned that off like on Fridays, or like you did with Punk. You brought Punk in on Rampage on a Friday. You sold out the crowd.
Yeah.
Drop a little bit of spoilers here and there. Hey, Ruby Soho may be on Rampage this week, or hey, Bryan Daniel, like, add it up. But it's like on All Out, man. He just like, look, we just gonna drop everybody.
I mean, I think the only reason why that happened, and we've said it before, the uncertainty because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
He wanted to make sure that they all had a proper audience to come out to.
Yeah.
So if you know that you have a guaranteed audience there, go ahead. I'm more than willing to bet, if things were different now, probably would have done exactly what you just said. They would have been teased for, between one pay-per-view to the next.
Yeah.
We would have gotten everybody revealed.
But I take back what I said, because you said something similar. Everything was rushed because of COVID. We didn't know what was going to happen. Things are starting to decline a lot more in the world. Thank you, everybody, for doing what you're supposed to be doing. People not, whatever. But it seems like things are going to slowly start trajecting in the right way. If we keep going this way, it looks like AEW is on a clear path to continue to do what they need to do for the rest of the year and going forward. So, I mean, I'm excited. And then Tony Khan talked about going to UK next year, and then there's rumors about the Superdome too in Tokyo. And I'm like, woo! AEW doing a show in Tokyo? Like,
can be AEW go like in standard fashion, AEW X New Japan.
As long as they don't go to North Korea, we're straight. Don't go to North Korea, don't go to Saudi Arabia, and we good.
Wrestling history.
Yeah, but AEW and just wrestling in general, like I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go ahead and put my card out there. I'm actually enjoying a lot of things WWE is doing right now.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good. Like it's kind of like, okay, guys, you finally picked up the ball and you're running with it. You're not fumbling it anymore.
I'm like, this is actually good. It's good. I hate to say it's actually good TV. Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not everything, but I'm like, okay, you're getting that demo. Like, you're appealing to the crowd now.
It's more positive than negative. Like, a few months back, it was kind of a rough watch. But now, whatever decisions have been made and whatever power has been given or taken, they're finally getting it. And at the end of the day, like, granted, we talk mainly about AEW, but we just want all wrestling to do good.
Yeah.
We want, New Japan, AEW, ROH, Impact, WWE, and every single indie show in between. Like, we just want all of them because we're wrestling fans.
Yeah.
That's what you should want.
And AEW got me back into wrestling. And I don't think I ever would have came back and been able to enjoy this great timing, right? Wrestling is amazing. Like, AEW got me back into WWE. Got me into New Japan, got me into Impact. Like, I'm watching, I love it. And that's why I give AEW all the props in the world. And that's why we talk about AEW as well. I love it. And I love the fact that I can enjoy other promotions now due to AEW. Like, I just mad respect. And even Edge this past week.
Oh, yeah.
Throwing out love to the Revival FTR. Wow. Respect, man. I can't even hate on that. And FTR, they did a gif of them pulling up. They said, we pull up to the person's house right now. Tell us where to go, Edge.
Oh, dude. I know you said with this last segment, one more thing.
You got it, man. It's all you.
One more thing. Christopher Daniels showing back up in Impact as Fallen Angel.
Perfect thing for that.
Yeah. No, honestly, that when he came out, when his music played, I was like, nah. And then he came out, I was like, oh, okay, he's what they need. Fallen Angel.
He's what they need, and he's gonna push their talent. And I just think that it's the perfect marriage. It's a perfect speed for him. And I think he'll be able to succeed, and he can still do training with people, and he can still scout too. Look, this guy's been on Impact. Let's get him over on AEW, and let's see what we can do. Like, being that person, because he's pretty creative too. So
yeah, exactly. I just wanted to point that out. I mean, like, when he came out, that was just such a feel good moment, because like, when he and Kazarian split up as a tag team, there was no double cross. It was literally like, yo, wait, is he retiring? Because it was just like a really sentimental moment, and you're like, oh, okay. And then we don't see him for a while, and then you're like, oh crap, did he quietly retire? And then he came back, and it's like the feud between him and Christian, it's coming.
Well, that's the thing with people. If with that match when him and Kazarian lost and they had to split up his tag team, go watch the behind the scenes after that match. The amount of stitches this dude had to get and the amount of work he had to get done on his body, he was in agonizing pain.
Yeah. Isn't his eye
his eye was
permanently
busted
damaged?
open. I mean, he had lacerations on his shoulder. He said, my body can't do this no more. He said, it was on TV. He was on Kazarian, may be done. He looked defeated in the locker room. Like he was literally bleeding and he was so sore. Like I was like, damn, dude. Like it may be time. And then, you see Sting. Sting is only 62 years old. AJ nothing but a number, man.
Going through a table and getting up like it's nothing. Whereas right now, when I get up out of the seat, my body's going to be killing me. I'm just saying.
My back would probably be glued to my seat. It's going to make a nice little.
Yeah.
So, again, everybody, that was 3, episode 7. Thank y'all. Remember to like and subscribe. This is in part of Top Trio. We have an amazing month of October, best month ever. We'll have more podcasts from That Was 3 as well, part of Top Trio. We got a lot of events going on. If you guys are free, you guys probably won't see this by then. I'm gonna tell people about the the Power Hour, but that's tomorrow, so this won't be out tomorrow.
Oh crap! That is tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. I was gonna put stuff on Facebook today, but Facebook decided to.
Oh, wonder what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. Facebook decided.
Somebody unplugged the router.
The worst 24 hours ever. But great talking to you, man. Much love. Stay safe out in California, man.
Will do.
Tony Khan did state that he is trying to get over to the West Coast. So I have money reserved when that day comes. I will be on the first flight to you, and we can be live.
Everybody will have to watch that episode of Dynamite or pay-per-view or whatever it's going to be, because we're going to be the 2 dudes in the front row that
I'm getting on that's what's going to happen. I'm getting on BTE too, so cool, man. Well, I will holler at you later, man.
All right, man. Take it easy.